Hello everybody and welcome back down the creek. I want to take a minute to thank Roger from Chicagoland for his awesome post on one of my previous videos. I really enjoyed the feedback and he pointed out that I don't give my name in my intro. So for starters, I want to introduce myself. I'm Justin with On the Creek and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. So now's the time when I ask the annoying question to please hit the subscribe button below. I know this is an annoying thing that everybody asks, but it really does help us out. And in the process of growing my channel, I'd like to get pretty sizable. I love to share my passion with everybody. And if you like fishing videos, tips and tricks, and gear reviews, those types of things, then you know what? If you can, just smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell, and it would notify you when I post more videos. Also, if you could take a minute to smash the like button if you get some value out of this video. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 pieces of equipment every fisherman should have in their tackle box. So let's get into the video. Number 5. Okay everybody, so for my number 5 spot, I picked pliers or hook removing tool. I think this is a very important thing because I use them pretty much every time I go fishing. Personally, I carry multiple types of hook removing tools, from needle nose pliers to grappers and forceps, big and small. I think that they all have their place in the tackle box, and I use a variety of different ones each time I fish. Each situation, each fish catch you have can call for a different type of plier or hook removing tool. I think that if I had to pick the top 2 out of what's in my hand, I would have probably these right here and these right here. And the reason why is because these will pretty much take care of whatever problem you have. Even if you have a small fish, these right here will still work. Obviously, it's not as ideal as, for instance, having these for like a perch, but it could get the job done. It could get the job done for sure. Now these, if you had a bigger fish, you would struggle. So that's why I think that those 2 would be the best to have if I was just going to pick 2. But I'm telling you what, I use each and every one of these every time I go fishing. That's why I carry them all. So that's my number 5. Number 4. Okay, so for my number 4 pick is kind of an unusual one. It's not something that you can go to a tackle shop and buy, and it's kind of homemade. But I'll tell you what, you'll always find one in my tackle box. And it is a piece of pool noodle. See, what I do is I take a pool noodle, which you can buy very cheap, and I cut it into little pieces. And those little pieces, I add, take a sharp razor blade and I add little veins or slits in it, and it allows me to put my rigs in here so they don't get tangled, so I can fish with them easier. It also will keep my hook point safe and keep me from getting a hook in my finger when I'm digging in my tackle box. So, basically what you do is you put your hook in there, and then the line will wrap right in to the slit, and the goal is to put it in order so that when you pull the hook out, you can easily get that rig. It's quite the hack, I do say so myself, and I always have one in my tackle box. Number 3. Okay, so my number 5 pick is going to be a pocket knife or multi-tool. Currently, I carry a Swiss Army knife or a Boy Scout knife because it has a multitude of different tools on it. But honestly, I think I'd rather have a multi-tool in this instance. I just don't have one at the moment because it would eliminate my need to carry the needle nose pliers in the bottom of my tackle box. It would fit in a better package. But for my purpose, a pair of needle nose and this knife do just fine. And the reason why is because I think every fisherman should have a blade. You can use a blade for so many different things while you're fishing. You can use it to make cut bait. You can use it to cut line, braid, mono. You know what? And these even come with the little needle nose I don't know how many times I've been fishing and got a splinter. Not needle nose, pliers. I don't know how many times I've been fishing and got a splinter and then had to get it out, and those are really handy to have. So when it comes to handy tools, really to have in your tackle box, a multi-tool or multi-pocket knife is definitely a very, very smart choice. Number 2, are you like me and have been fishing and got the worst hangnail of your life with all that worm guck under your nail and have to bite it off? No, yeah, me neither. But for my number 2 pick, I picked a pair of fisherman's nail clippers, not for trimming nails, although you could do that if you chose, but for cutting fishing line. I don't know how many times I've been down there at the river and I see some guy chomping on his line to get it off, looks at me, gives me a big smile, and it looks like Mickey Mouse kicked him in the teeth, and he's got like one little snaggle tooth in the front of his mouth. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, you've been biting fishing line off your whole life. But not me, guys. These pearly whites are staying as healthy as they can. So I carry a pair of fisherman's pliers. It's very handy to have with braid. It's very handy to have with mono. And you know what? It really does a good job of cutting your line nice and clean and straight so that it doesn't have any damage to the end to fray off if you have like a strand braid or a mono with just a clean cut. I don't think that's super important with mono, but you know what? A clean cut is going to definitely be better than something ragged you chewed off and chipped a tooth with. So that's why number 2 spot is reserved for my fisherman's nail clippers. Number 1. Okay, so my number 1 spot is truly the number 1 item that I have in my tackle box. It's in every tackle box I own. It's always with me when I'm fishing. And if I ever didn't have it, I might as well be fishing naked because something would feel wrong. And nobody wants to see me fish naked. Believe me on that. Okay, so my number 1 item is a shop towel or a mechanic's towel. This thing will save your life. I'm absolutely telling you, save your life. You get stranded on your boat, wave this thing. No, I'm kidding. So this thing is just invaluable to me while fishing. I don't like to have gooky, slimy hands all day while fishing. And you know what? I started carrying these about 7 years ago. I found them at my local bait shop, and they were selling them for $1 a piece, and they'd cut it up, and they'd roll it up and roll it like this, and they'd put a little rubber band, and I thought to myself, that's pretty handy. I don't know how many times I'm wiping my hands on the grass, on the trees, on your fishing partner's back, laughing at them. But with this, you're really squared away, and you get to wipe off your hands, and you get all the slime and grease off. Grease, I guess it's not really grease when you're fishing, but grime. And you know what? You go down to the water, you wash your hands in the river, you can dry them off real nice. The only tip I have with these is they're red. You can get the different colored ones, but do not wash these with your wife's towels because it will turn them pink, and don't ask me how I know that. Anyway, that's why the shop towel or mechanic's towel is my number 1 choice for the most important thing I keep in my tackle box. I guarantee you, if you start carrying one of these, you will never go fishing without it. Okay guys, everybody loves a bonus. So as I was going through my top 5s, I realized that there was something in my tackle box that was extremely handy that I started doing about 2 years ago, and I didn't think of this idea, but it's helped me immensely organize my tackle box. And I think it's something that, if I share with you today, could potentially help you immensely as well. And what it is a pill bottle. Empty pill bottles have been great for organizing all my little hooks that aren't already snelled. I don't know how many times I've had, you know, a pack of hooks in the bottom of my tackle box. They spill everywhere and they end up in my finger. And when you get more into detail about it, what I do is I take safety pins and I run it through the eyes of the hooks, and it helps me organize it that much more. See if you can get a good shot of that. So when I need it, all I got to do is snap the safety pin open and take a hook off and shut the safety pin and then stuff it back into this pill bottle. And as you see here, I got a couple different sizes with different shanks, but you know what? It keeps them from rolling around the bottom of my tackle box. It helps me stay, incredibly organized. And I think that's one of the hardest challenges that face the everyday fisherman is staying organized, because I don't know how many times I've gone out fishing and by the time I leave the bank, I've dug through everything in the bottom and it's all thrown out everywhere, and I got to take 15 or 20 minutes to go back through everything and put everything away. So little tips like this really go a long way with me. Alright guys, so that's my top 5 things that I keep in my tackle box with my bonus number 6. I want to take a minute to thank you guys for watching to the end. And you know what, if you got some value from this video, like I said in the beginning, please hit that like button and think about subscribing to my channel. I'm going to start doing videos on every Friday at 3. Is my goal to say guaranteed. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to try and throw some bonus ones in there too. Try and do 2 to 3 a week. Maybe some small ones. We do tips and tricks, fishing videos, and sometimes just something that I see that I think is awesome. So thanks again for watching, guys, and come back and see us next time, and don't forget, get out there and live. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.